Imagine looking into the mirror one day and not recognizing the person looking back at you, having sad and sunken eyes and disheveled hair. That was me a few years back. Well, I'm Kanchan Bhaskar, an author, a coach, a speaker, and an advocate for women of domestic abuse. And yes, you have guessed it right. I am a survivor. In fact, I like to call myself a fighter. I was victimized by my perpetrator who trapped me under his power and control, isolated me, manipulated me, rendering me lost, hopeless, and helpless. I had to get out of that tormented environment, but how? I knew my safe escape was not going to be easy. So I strategized and planned, created a roadmap with each and every milestone I had to cover to fill the gaps before I reached the end of the road. I'm here to share my journey from a life of constraints to self rediscovery, to share how I reclaimed my identity and dignity, the tools and methods I used to free myself. Today, I'm a thriver, living a meaningful life full of joy and fulfillment. The intention of this video and a series of videos which will follow is to share the tools and techniques one can use in adversity, especially if you have experienced toxic partner relationships or with narcissistic individual, so that you can empower yourself and breathe free in body, mind and soul. I'll take you with me through the pivotal moments of my journey, the challenges and roadblocks I faced, and how I adapted and honed these tools when I was lost, numb, and emotionally a wreck, and still continued on my journey to freedom. You will hear from me how I transformed myself into a resilient, financially independent woman living on my own terms. I'm here to help you discover your own story in case it resonates with mine, to choose to make the right decisions so as to lead a free, stable, and a meaningful life. The good news is that we all have the potential to change our story, just like I changed fighting against my perpetrator, society, and destiny. Roots of my journey through my early years, it's important to start with my upbringing so that you understand the foundation of who I was. So the video 1 will take you through my early years in New Delhi, where I was born and brought up, where the seeds of a confident, strong young woman were first planted. One thing I want to acknowledge before we dive into my story is that everyone's journey begins differently. While I was fortunate to have a childhood filled with warmth and support, I know that this isn't everyone's experience. Many face adversities from a very young age, challenges that I can only imagine. Each story is unique and every struggle and triumph has its own value. If your journey started with hardships, know that your strength and resilience in facing those challenges are incredibly powerful. Today, I share my story not to say it's the only way or the best way, but to add to the diverse tapestry of human experiences. I hope we can all learn from each other, finding threads of commonality and strength, no matter where our paths began. Childhood warmth and family values. So let's talk about that a little bit. My life before marriage was unusually cheerful and gratifying. My childhood filled with enthusiasm, warmth, hugs, and lessons about good values and fairness. This built a strong foundation for a delightful and self-assured young woman. Mom and dad created a home filled with love and harmony. We had strong family values based on caring, respect, trust, and most importantly, gender equity. Daughters and sons get equal treatment in the Bhaskar household, dad and mom would say, with conviction. My dreams were built on the romance and jubilation in which I was brought up. I imagined my married life to be as blissful and tender as that of my parents, who truly cherished and treasured each other and nurtured their 4 offsprings with love and warmth. They lived more as partners than as a traditional Indian husband and wife. My dad, Om, married his beloved Shashi, my mom, when he was 19 and Shashi was 16, a marriageable age in those years. Om would say it was love at first sight. And he would tell us again and again the story of how he fell for my mother. My siblings and I would sit around them to hear the story, usually some late evening after dinner. Dad would do the talking while mom would shy away, blushing, even 20 years later, pressing my dad's hand to stop while we listened keenly. Om, a talented storyteller, engaged us with all the twists and turns of their story. We hung on his every word, as if we were hearing their tale for the first time. The reason I'm sharing this story is to tell you that I was brought up in an environment of openness, togetherness, and honesty. My mom continued her education after marriage and became a teacher. Both my parents were growth-minded and self-made people. This is what I was observing on an everyday basis. Their progressive thinking was inconsistent with the societal norms of that time, and they were okay with it. My undergrad education was at a prestigious British college, which attracted students from affluent, prominent families. The college was in the center of New Delhi, a cultural hub surrounded by top supermarkets, theaters, coffee houses, and fun stuff. Education was a priority for me, but I didn't want to be so deeply immerse myself in books that I missed out on experiencing the world. I wanted to experience life in every which way. I enjoyed my college life. It was a good balance of studying and fun. I must tell you this, the first Western movie I saw in a theater on a 70mm screen was Love Story, starring Ally McGraw and Ryan O'Neal. When Ryan kissed Ally on the steps of the college, I whispered in my friend's ear, "Look at both of them kissing. This is the way to kiss, passionate but pure." There were tons of novels available at home since my dad used to read a lot, all famous authors of the time. However, the first novel I read when I was 12 was Pearl Buck's The Good Earth. Very soon I realized I liked romantic novels. So Mills and Boon and Barbara Cartland became my go-tos. These novels created the dream world I had been in since my adolescence, fantasizing like other girls about a tall, dark, handsome prince who would appear one day from the clouds riding on a white stallion and sweep me away to his magnificent palace. But when I grew up, I became more pragmatic. I had to. After receiving my undergrad degree, I started my master's degree at the Delhi School of Social Work, a premium institute in Delhi University, majoring in social work. This was the time when my feminist thinking became stronger. I felt passionately about women's rights and freedom. I was at the forefront when we joined hands with social workers who protested on the roads of New Delhi and in front of the parliament against the live burnings of young brides by greedy in-laws who demanded dowry in the form of cash and property from bride's family who just couldn't afford it. I was strictly against dowry system and endorsed not to take dowry when I get married. I was an educated girl. My parents had spent so much of money, so it was a big dowry they were giving. In brief, as you must have observed, I had a stable, safe, and a secure upbringing with solid values and beliefs ingrained in me. Respect for elders, respect for women, love and partnership between a married couple, taking responsibility of the children, trust for each other, resilience to stand up for social cause, and so much more provided a solid foundation for me. The reason for giving details of my growing up on the outset is only to mention that I was blessed to have a stable and secure childhood, unlike so many. But was it a true blessing is the question I ask myself. My beliefs, core values, my characterization, my mental images of life were built upon the ideal family environment I was brought in, but remained oblivious of the truths of life. I was strong, but not resilient. I was not exposed to the ways to deal with uncertainties and facing challenges and the ongoing atrocities in the societies. I grew up to be one naive girl. We are at the close of today's video. I wanted to keep it within 10 to 15 minutes so that it doesn't become very long. Thank you for taking this first step with me. Next time, we will delve into a darker yet crucial part of my journey in the episode titled In the Shadows of Control. We'll explore the challenges of an arranged marriage marked by dominance and control, how societal pressures can sometimes silence one's voice. This episode is important not only for understanding the depth of my story, but also for recognizing the silent struggles that many face around us. So, I invite you to join me as we uncover these truths, learn from them, and find ways to support each other in our paths to freedom. As we wrap up today's journey through the early chapters of my life, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. How was your background and it shaped the person you are today? Each of us has a unique story influenced by your upbringing, the challenges we faced, and the joys we have experienced. I'd love for you to share in the comments below what's one significant aspect of your background that has played a key role in your life. Sharing our stories can help us connect and learn more from each other, and I'm eager to hear yours. Please subscribe the video and visit my websites given below. I plan on recording and posting one video in the series every Wednesday. So be on the lookout. See you next Wednesday.